Hi, I'm Margaret. You know that moment when your world shifts and you realize everything you believed was a lie? Mine came 3 years into my marriage, on the eve of a life-changing back surgery. I was sitting at the kitchen table when I saw it. The account balance, zero. At first, I thought it had to be a glitch. Just yesterday, our joint account held $48,000. Everything I'd saved, plus the proceeds from selling my car. All of it earmarked for my surgery and recovery. Let me back up. I met Mike at a friend's barbecue. He was perfect, or so I thought. A successful real estate agent with a dazzling smile and what seemed like a loving, close-knit family. His mother, Barbara, was intense right from the start. Always calling, always having emergencies that demanded Mike's attention. I chalked it up to a protective mom being lonely with her husband, George, always traveling. She just misses Dad, Mike would say. Then there was Kelly, his younger sister, who had never met a designer bag she didn't need immediately. The red flags were there, but I didn't see them, not back then. Barbara's constant hints about family helping family, the time Kelly needed $5,000 for a business opportunity that turned out to be a pyramid scheme, the way Mike would dodge conversations about finances. Family takes care of each other, they all parroted like a mantra. Funny how that care only ever flowed one way, their way. 3 weeks ago, I finally scheduled the surgery I'd needed since my accident. The pain had become unbearable, forcing me to leave my job as a physical therapist. After years of saving and with Mike promising to contribute, we had just enough for the surgery. Maybe you should wait, Barbara said at dinner last Sunday, her tone oozing false concern. She exchanged a knowing glance with Kelly. I brushed it off. Now, staring at the empty account, I couldn't ignore the sinking feeling in my gut. I called Mike again, straight to voicemail, like the last 10 times. My hands shook as I scrolled through the texts I'd sent him. Then my phone buzzed. A new text. Mike, Mom needed the money. Family emergency. I'll explain later. Before I could even process that, another buzz. This time, a Facebook notification. Kelly's latest post. Shopping spree with Mom. Best day ever. The photo said it all. Barbara and Kelly, grinning ear to ear, surrounded by Gucci and Prada shopping bags. The timestamp? 2 hours ago. I stared at the screen, my hospital bag packed and pre-surgery paperwork neatly stacked beside me. My chest tightened with a crushing realization. I didn't just have a back problem. I had a husband problem. A family problem. The next buzz was Anna, my best friend, bursting through my front door. One panicked phone call had her leaving her hospital shift early. What do you mean they emptied the account? She demanded, her voice rising as she read Mike's text over my shoulder. Family emergency. The only emergency here is your surgery tomorrow. While she fumed, my phone lit up with more texts from Mike. Mike, Mom really needs this. We can reschedule your surgery. You're being selfish. Family comes first. Selfish? My jaw clenched as Anna grabbed her iPad. Send me everything, she snapped. Texts, emails, bank statements, everything. Kelly's still posting live. Good. The idiots just handed us proof. She wasn't wrong. Kelly's Instagram story was a parade of excess. Designer bags, champagne glasses, Barbara beaming in front of a Mercedes dealership. The caption read, "New car for Mom. She deserves it." Then came the final blow. Barbara's text. Barbara, Margaret, honey, try to understand. Mike knows his priorities. I raised him right. A mother's needs come first. Your back isn't going anywhere. My back isn't going anywhere. Anna was already on the phone, her eyes blazing with fury. Sarah Bennett, Anna said, her voice firm. The best divorce lawyer in the state. She handled my sister's nightmare ex. Trust me, she'll destroy them. An hour later, I was sitting in Sarah's sleek office, watching her expression darken as she scrolled through the evidence Anna had meticulously organized. Financial abuse, premeditated theft, conspiracy, Sarah muttered, her perfectly manicured nails tapping the desk. Then she snorted, a cold, amused sound. And they documented everything on social media. They're not just stupid, they're criminally stupid. My phone buzzed. Another text from Mike. Mike, coming home soon. We need to talk about your attitude. Sarah's lips curled into a smile that was pure steel. Perfect, she said. Let's talk about attitude, shall we? But first, She pressed her intercom. Janet, call Judge Martinez. Emergency hearing. Domestic financial abuse. And get me Detective Torres. As she spoke, I felt something shift inside me. The pain in my back was still there, but something else was rising, something stronger than fear or heartbreak. One more thing, Sarah added, pulling out a form and handing it to me. Your surgery tomorrow. My brother's chief of surgery at Metro General. Unlike some people's family emergencies, this is actually urgent. Let's make sure you get the care you need first. Then she gestured at the growing pile of evidence. After that, we'll take care of this family. Anna squeezed my hand as Sarah made call after call. Through the office window, I spotted Kelly's latest Instagram post, another shopping photo, captioned hashtag best day ever. Oh honey, I whispered, my voice dripping with resolve. Your day's just getting started. The hearing? Sarah's emergency hearing was a nuclear bomb in disguise. Judge Martinez took one look at my medical records. 3 years of documented pain. Failed physical therapy, MRIs showing deteriorating discs, and his face turned stormy. Your husband withdrew money intended for medically necessary surgery, he said, his voice like ice. The day before the procedure. And that was just the beginning. Sarah's team had combed through bank records like hungry wolves. 5 separate withdrawals, Sarah explained. First Barbara, then Kelly, then George, then Mike. Coordinated. Planned. Timed specifically to drain the account before the surgery date. She paused, her gaze sweeping the courtroom. And this isn't the first time. The room fell silent as Sarah revealed bank statements going back 2 years. Secret loans, hidden withdrawals, and mysterious transfers, all funneling into Barbara's account. My surgical fund wasn't their first target. It was just their biggest grab. Detective Torres, seated in the gallery, stood up. We found similar patterns with Barbara Davidson's previous daughter-in-law. My head snapped up. Previous daughter-in-law? Mike's first wife, Torres explained. She mysteriously abandoned him 5 years ago, right after her inheritance came in. Barbara claimed she ran off with another man. Reality? The money vanished into Davidson family accounts. She didn't abandon anyone. She was financially drained and fled. Anna squeezed my hand again, leaning in to whisper, good news. Dr. Crawford reviewed your case. The hospital's patient advocacy program is covering your surgery. It's scheduled for next week. I nodded, my focus shifting to Mike. His face was a study in panic, his eyes darting to Barbara like a puppet waiting for its strings to be pulled. But Barbara wasn't looking at him. She was too busy deleting her social media posts. Too late. Sarah's team had archived everything. Your Honor, Sarah said, standing confidently. We've also discovered that Mr. Davidson has been taking out loans against their house. Loans Mrs. Davidson never signed for, using her forged signature. The judge's gavel came down like thunder. Enough. Detective Torres, I believe you have enough for criminal charges. Mrs. Davidson, your emergency protective order is granted. Mr. Davidson, surrender your assets, all of them. I caught Barbara's eye across the courtroom. For the first time, her perfectly made-up face showed cracks of fear. She hadn't expected this, any of it. She thought I'd be like the last one. Run away, disappear, let them win. But I wasn't going anywhere. My surgery was covered, my lawyer was a shark, and my best friend had my back. Their perfect little family scam was crumbling, and I was standing tall, ready to watch it collapse. 6 months after my surgery, I sat in the back of another courtroom, watching Mike accept his plea deal. 3 years for financial abuse and fraud. His real estate license, revoked. Barbara wasn't doing much better. After the charges against Mike went public, other victims came forward, 3 more former daughters-in-law, each with eerily similar stories. The Davidson family's carefully curated reputation was in ruins, their social standing in our small town shattered. The local news didn't hold back, airing yet another story about the Davidsons. Kelly's so-called fashion boutique, funded by stolen money, was closing its doors. George, tired of Barbara's schemes, had filed for divorce. And Barbara, she was drowning in civil suits filed by multiple families. I touched my back, tracing the scar that was now a symbol of my survival. The surgery had worked better than I could have hoped. After 6 months of proper physical therapy, I was almost ready to return to work. My new apartment might be smaller than the house I'd shared with Mike, but it was mine. Truly mine. Here's to Margaret, Anna said, raising her glass with a proud smile. Who didn't just survive, she thrived. I smiled, lifting my own glass. Before taking a sip, I checked my phone one last time. A text from Detective Torres popped up. Torres, Barbara's sentencing is set for next month. Kelly's filing for bankruptcy. Mike's appeal. Denied. I scrolled to the last photo in my gallery, a snapshot from that Sunday dinner, just before everything fell apart. There I was smiling nervously, surrounded by the Davidson family, a picture-perfect lie. With a swipe, I deleted it. My back was healing, my career was waiting, and my real family, the friends who stood by me, were right here. I looked around my apartment at the faces of the people who had supported me through the darkest time of my life. No manipulations, no schemes, no guilt trips disguised as family comes first, just genuine love and support. The pain in my back had faded to almost nothing, but the lessons I'd learned, those would stay with me forever. Sometimes the family you choose is stronger than the family you marry into, and sometimes hitting rock bottom gives you the foundation to build your best life. What would you do if you discovered your spouse had been secretly funneling your savings to their family for years? Would you pursue legal action like Margaret or try to handle it privately? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Every family situation is unique, but some lines can't be uncrossed. If you enjoyed Margaret's journey to justice, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more real-life stories. Your support helps us shine a light on stories like hers.